According to legend, the Shaolin monks based many of their fighting skills upon animal movements. The tiger claw is one such technique, popular among many kung fu styles from southern China. Today, few people train their tiger claw completely. When properly trained, your tiger claw can become a devastating weapon. This Shaolin monk is tearing the bark off a frozen tree. Imagine what that kind of power can do to the soft parts of the body. The most common method of conditioning the hand in Chinese iron palm can make any hand strike more powerful, including your tiger claw. Most Westerners imagine iron palm to be jabbing your hand into heated iron shot. Actually, this is only one method of iron palm training. Contrary to popular belief, the shot was heated to make practice more tolerable, not more difficult. The shot was heated to remove the chill during winter, not toughening the thousands of different schools of kung fu. Each has its own different methods for hardening the hand, usually some form of iron palm. Each school adds its own unique emphasis to its version of iron palm. There are many different ancient methods of training your hand that are not iron palm. These can be used to complement your training. In this method, take 30 square chopsticks and bind them together. Grip them tightly with both hands, twisting and squeezing with each movement. Focus on increasing your grip with each twist. You can twist the chopsticks in different patterns. This way you can develop your grip strength in different ways. When the chopsticks wear down and become round, replace them with fresh, square ones. In this method, lift 2 conical weights using your fingertips. Keep your arms straight and your shoulders relaxed. Be sure to be on the tips of your fingers, not the pads. Focus on locking your grip. In this method, lift a weight by rolling your wrists. Again, keep your arms straight and your shoulders relaxed. As you get stronger, you can add more weight and increase the number of repetitions. All iron palm methods share one common factor: striking iron. Tiger Iron Palm is the second instructional video about iron palm by Sifu Lam. The first was Shaolin's secret iron palm training. It reveals a different method of training, emphasizing techniques used by Shaolin style. Tiger Iron Palm comes from Hung Gar Kung Fu of southern China. The tiger claw is a favorite technique of this style. Many of the most famous forms of Hung Gar, such as taming the tiger or tiger and crane, invoke the tiger. This method of Tiger Iron Palm specifically trains your tiger claw. Sifu Lam learned this iron palm method from his master, Lung Hua Chu. Lung Hua Chu taught an esoteric school of Hung Gar known as Ha-Se Fu, or Four Lower Tigers. This method is exclusive to Ha-Se Fu Hung Gar. The most common school of Hung Gar is Canton Hung Gar, which does not usually use this iron palm method. This video will reveal Ha-Se Fu Hung Gar iron palm to the public for the first time. It is our hope that by sharing this knowledge, all martial artists may benefit, no matter what style. Start with your arms by your sides, then extend your fingers. Spread your fingers wide apart. Stretch them as much as you are able without moving your wrists. Keep the rest of your body loose and relaxed. Move slowly and deliberately. Between each stretch, relax your hand completely. Repeat this action until your hands feel warm. Start with your arms extended at shoulder height. Your fingers are spread apart and extended. Slowly form tiger claws with your hands. Sink your elbows as you curl your fingers. When you curl your fingers, first move the tips of your fingers, then bend your knuckles. It is important for you to distinguish between the tips of your fingers and the pads. Focus your power into the tips of your fingers. This sensation of power should increase its intensity as you curl your fingers into claws. Again, move slowly and deliberately. Between each tiger, repeat this action until your hands feel warm. Rub both your stomach and back by making small circles with the palms of your hands. Keep your hands relaxed and loose so that your hands feel warm. Alternate between having your right and left hands in front. Too much tension inhibits your flow of internal energy. This energy, known as chi, is what you intend to cultivate through iron palm. Move slowly, staying loose and relaxed. Repeat this action until your body feels warm. Begin in a high horse stance. Your feet are twice the width of your shoulders and your knees are bent. Here Sifu Lam demonstrates the primary strike pattern for Tiger Iron Palm. This pattern consists of 5 different strikes. This pattern is executed with each of your hands, one at a time, alternating between your left and right hand. The 5 strikes are the slap, the backhand slap, the chop, the push, and the claw. These strikes are always executed in this order. For the first 3 strikes, raise your hand above your head to prepare for each strike. For the push, your arm is only raised up to the middle of your chest with your fingers pointed forward. The claw is an arc-shaped movement with your hand rising up to shoulder height at the apex of this arc. In the slap, cup your hands slightly and focus your power into the hollow of your palm. This strike uses the most internal power. In the backhand slap, use a soft, whipping, evenly focused energy. Focus your power on the back of your fingers. In the chop, strike with the knife edge of your hand. This strike uses mostly external power. In the push, snap your wrists to strike with the base of your palm. This strike uses both internal and external power. In the claw, focus your power into the tips of your fingers. This strike uses mostly internal. Every strike uses both internal power, or chi, and external power, or muscle strength, in different proportions. It is important for you to remain relaxed so your chi can flow into your strikes, especially for the strikes that emphasize internal power. For the strikes that use more external power, harden your hand only at the point of impact, then immediately return to a relaxed state. Even though your body is relaxed when you strike, deliver each strike powerfully. The impact of your strikes will only increase if you focus all of your energies into increasing your power. You must remain focused upon penetrating your target during each strike. Here, Sifu Lam demonstrates the primary strike pattern at normal speed. Start the pattern slowly, especially if your energy is low. Be cautious, even overprotective, until you are more comfortable with the movements. As your body warms up, you may increase your speed. How about your training? You do not want to go so fast that your strikes become sloppy and unfocused. Breathe naturally through your nose. Do not try to time your breathing with your strikes. Keep your mouth closed and erase all expression from your face. The Chinese say, the eyes lead the fist, so focus your gaze intently upon your target. Keep your eyes alert without tensing your eyebrows. Step forward with each claw strike. Step with your right leg when you strike with your right hand, and likewise for your other side. This stance is high bow. Your stances should be high, not so deep that it distracts from your task at hand. Chi originates from a place a few inches under your navel in the center of your hip girdle, known as the dantian. Your stance should be centered so that your dantian feels connected with both the earth and your striking hand. Step forward to the center so your position of your feet form a triangle. This student is hitting the bag too softly. He is completely without focus in his strikes. His posture is poor and all of his movements lack spirit. Without applying himself, he will achieve no benefits from this training, no matter how long he practices. Here, the student is hitting too hard. He is overcompensating with exaggerated strikes that use too much external muscle. Note the tension in his shoulders. This can lead to injury. This student is hitting only in the center of the bag. Since the filling is loose within the bag, it will move away from your striking point. This creates a pocket in your training bag where there is little filling. Push and grab aim at the center. The other strikes are aimed at the sides. Here, the student is stepping outside the legs of the table. The correct method of stepping forward to the center simulates how you might step into an opponent. It also makes your movements more stable. Here, Sifu Lam demonstrates the correct method of striking. Note that each strike has sufficient impact. His shoulders are relaxed and his movements are loose and fluid. The strikes are powerful but not exaggerated. He is focused intently upon his training. The first 3 strikes are aimed to the sides of the training bag. The push and grab aim at the center. This keeps the filling of the training bag well distributed, so he is always striking filling. He steps forward to the center. This positions his grab directly in the center of the table. In the slap, keep your fingers together and drop your arm without being too stiff. In the backhand slap, your fingertips land last with a snapping strike. In the chop, bend your wrist slightly so that the edge of your hand strikes the bag, not your little finger. The push and grab will be explained in the following sections. In Tiger Ascends the Mountain, the table is at an angle to make the push more challenging. It uses the same primary strike pattern. The recommended angle for the Tiger Ascend the Mountain practice is 8 degrees. Aim the push at the beginning of the training bag close to your body. Your objective is to move the bag forward, so strike with that intention. Begin with your wrist straight and your elbow bent. With a snapping motion, bend your wrist quickly so that the heel of your hand strikes the bag. Your elbow straightens and your wrist bends. The push is different than the slap, backhand slap, or the chop. Each of these previous strikes is made with a larger movement. You begin your strike with your hand positioned above your head. For the push, you begin your strike with your hand positioned relatively close to your target. This is a short, quick strike with little distance to build up momentum. All of the power comes from your wrist movement. Note that although we chose the name push for this strike, Sifu Lam does not really push the training bag all the way across the table. Contact is made only for an instant. All of your energy is projected through the heel of your hand into the bag within that instant. This must be sufficient to move the bag across the table. This short power is similar to the martial arts theory of the 1-inch strike, made popular by the late Bruce Lee. This is an ancient concept in martial arts about deriving maximum power in a minimal distance. Since the push is a short movement that derives its power from a lot of external muscle, it is considered to use both internal and external power. However, even within the backhand slap and the chop, which are mostly external, there lies some internal energy. Focus on cultivating your internal energy throughout all your practice. In Tiger Descends the Mountain, the table is set to another angle to make the grab more challenging. It uses the same primary strike pattern. In Tiger Descends the Mountain, the recommended angle for practice is 8 degrees again. The height of the table by your waist should remain constant for all the different exercises, so it is not advised that you just turn your table around. In the claw, aim your strike directly at the center of the training bag. Form a C shape with your thumb and forefinger. The rest of your fingers are evenly spread and curled like your forefinger. Focus your power to your fingertips. Your palm does not intentionally touch the bag. Synchronize your step with your strike. This adds the movement of your whole body into your strike for maximum power. In the same manner, use your step back to help pull the bag back. Maintain your focus upon your claw as you pull the bag all the way back toward your body. Release the bag after you have returned it to its original position. In advanced training, the training bag is larger. When this large training bag is filled with steel shot, it weighs over 70 pounds. This method uses the same primary strike pattern. The greater weight makes both the push and the grab strikes considerably more challenging. The recommended size of the bag is approximately half the size of your table track. If it is too large, it will not have enough room to move along the table. With steel shot is made larger. The other bags that will be described later have a consistent size. This is the final stage of training in Tiger Iron Palm. This large bag can be used in both Tiger Ascends the Mountain, Tiger Descends the Mountain, and the last variation of this Tiger Iron Palm that follows. However, do not attempt to use a large bag until you have fully mastered all the other techniques. In this variation of the claw, grab the bag and lift it when you pull it back. Strike the bag with your claw in the same manner as before, then close your hand, grabbing as much of the filling as you can. Pull the bag back toward your body. The rest of the pattern is the same as the primary strike pattern. After you grab the bag, lift it as little as you can while supporting all of its weight. Lift the bag in a controlled manner, just enough to pick it up, but not to come out of the table rack. If you lift the bag so high that it comes out of the table rack, be sure to place it down back into the track. It is important not to break your rhythm. This variation should be executed at about the same speed as the primary strike pattern. Just as in Tiger Ascends the Mountain and Tiger Descends the Mountain, be sure to have a good grasp of the primary strike pattern before attempting this technique. In the old days, there were no clocks to time your training. Traditional practice was timed by a burning stick of incense. You would light the stick in the beginning of your practice and practice until it burned out. Depending upon how big the stick was, this could be about 45 minutes to an hour. Note how Sifu Lam uses his rear hand here. Instead of keeping it in a fist by his waist, he grabs the tiger head knob on the end of the table using another claw. This trapping technique, common in the tiger claw of Hung Gar Kung Fu, is a variation that is more practical for Hung Gar practitioners. Traditionally, iron palm masters practiced 3 times a day, burning a whole stick of incense each time. Today, most of us cannot afford that much time to practice. However, a single training session should still last 45 minutes to an hour, and daily practice is very important. The more that you put into your training, the more that you will get out of it. All of the equipment shown in this video is available through Wing Lam Enterprises, even the custom-made tiger table such as this one. However, you may choose to manufacture some of this hardware for yourself. Training equipment can be easily manufactured and modified to fit you personally. The dimensions given in this section are based upon Sifu Lam's personal equipment. If you build your own equipment, it is not absolutely necessary that your measurements be exactly the same unless you intend to use some of our equipment in conjunction with your own. However, you should be careful not to deviate too much, or else other unforeseen problems may arise. The width of our training bags is 11 inches, so the track must match this width. The tiger table height should be at your waist level when you are in a high stance. Taller people may want to make a taller table. It should be about a yard long so you can grab comfortably. Sifu Lam's tiger table is conveniently adjustable for the tiger descends the mountain and tiger ascends the mountain. This table is designed with a simple yet sturdy hinge system. The height of the table nearest to your body should always remain at waist level. The hinge should be on this side. Your tiger table must be strong. If you train with a heavy bag, the track must be able to withstand the sliding action of over 70 pounds. You would not want that bag to slide off the table. Crafted tiger table such as this one is more desirable. It is not a necessity. Do not let the lack of a table inhibit you from your training goals. This is the economy tiger table offered by Wing Lam Enterprises. While it is not as spectacular, it is just as practical for training. The dimensions of this tiger table are similar to Sifu Lam's personal table. Whether you buy a table, have one built, or build it yourself, you will need some version of a tiger table for tiger iron palm training. The training bags are mounted on a wooden board that is 9 inches by 11 inches. When filled, they are about 2.5 inches high. The bags have 3 different fillings. The beginning bag is filled with mung beans. The powder that mung beans produce help fortify your skin. This bag should weigh about 4 pounds. The intermediate bag is filled with smooth, 1/4 inch gravel. If the gravel is too sharp, it can cut your hands. This gravel must be free of any paint or other toxic coatings that may be absorbed by your skin. The advanced bag is filled with 1/4-inch steel shot. This shot cannot be plated since this will chip and cut your hands. Furthermore, many platings are toxic and can be absorbed when you practice. The usage of these different bags will follow. Always check your equipment before you practice. Make sure that your table is in good condition and your bags are not worn out. You will need to replace the fillings in your beginning and inner. Begin your Tiger Iron Palm beginning of this video. Next, you must prepare your hands with special liniments. Sai Su Fong, or hand washing formula, is an herbal pre-soak which helps strengthen your skin, muscle, and bones. Just as every style has its own version of iron palm, there are many different preparations. Sifu Lam's Sai Su Fong is available through Wing Lam Enterprises. These are some of the 18 herbs in Sifu Lam's Sai Su Fong. Use a pot that is big enough for both of your hands and not made of aluminum. Clay pots are recommended. Bring 12 cups of water to a boil, then let the herbs simmer for 15 minutes. Warning: do not put your hands in boiling water. Let the Sai Su Fong cool so that the temperature is comfortably warm. You want to warm up your flesh so that the liniment is absorbed, not scald your hands so they cannot feel anything. Soak your hands for 5 to 10 minutes. During colder weather, you may soak them for a while longer. Do not use Sai Su Fong if you have any open cuts on your hands. Also, if you find that you are allergic to it, do not use it. This hand washing formula will last for a month. When you prepare for another practice session, do not bring the water to a boil again. Heat it until it is comfortably warm. After soaking your hands, shake them dry. Shake them vigorously while keeping your hands and body loose. Do not wipe the formula off. You want the herbal solution to dry on your hands. This motion also loosens your body so that your arms are free of tension. Now you are ready to begin your Tiger Iron Palm training. Immediately following your training session, you must use another liniment to help heal the minor injuries you will receive during training. Dita Jiao is a therapeutic liniment for injuries from falls or blows. Sifu Lam's Dita Jiao, also available through Wing Lam Enterprises, is a special recipe of his Shaolin Grandmaster, Guo Yucheng. Guo Yucheng was famous for his iron palm skill. Rub Dita Jiao into your hands thoroughly. Be generous with the liniment. Carefully massage each joint of your hand. When your blood, you want to promote circulation through massaging in the liniment. Push the stagnant blood toward your heart. As a general rule, the length of your massage period should be 1/3 of your practice period. For example, if you practice for 45 minutes, then massage for 15 minutes. Pay particular attention to any spot that feels tender. Do not use either Sai Su Fong or Dita Jiao on any open cut. When you first begin your training, start with the beginning mung bean bag and the primary strike pattern. Begin slowly and only strike the bag for 15 minutes. Gradually increase your duration. Traditionally, an hour was spent for each. This is the best, but do not overdo it, since this may lead to injury. Use common sense. If you are unusually sore or have sustained an injury, back off. Allow your body time to heal. When you can hit the beginning beanbag for 15 to 20 minutes without feeling soreness, you may progress to the intermediate gravel bag. Likewise, when you can hit the gravel bag for 15 to 20 minutes without feeling soreness, you may progress to the steel bag. The amount of time that it takes to achieve this level depends upon your training regimen and aptitude. Be patient. When you have achieved the intermediate gravel stage, always spend a few minutes warming up by striking the beginning mung bean bag first. When you are training with the advanced steel bag, always spend a few minutes warming up with the beginning bag and a few more on the intermediate bag. Once you are training with the advanced steel bag, you may progress to Tiger ascends the mountain, Tiger descends the mountain, or lifting the bag when you can strike the bag for 20 minutes without soreness. It does not matter which variation you start first, but add them one at a time. At this level, spend equal training time with the primary strike pattern and these other techniques. For example, spend half the time on the primary strike pattern and half on one variation, or spend a quarter of the time on each of the 4 techniques. Before practice, use the warm-up exercises and the Sai Su Fong. Your hands must be free of any cuts because you cannot use the therapeutic liniments with any open wounds. Also, these wounds will open during training. Do not practice if you are sick, injured, intoxicated, or upset. Also, avoid practice the day after sexual activity or in stormy weather. Your stomach should be empty, but you should not be hungry. Avoid places that are drafty or windy. Stay calm and focused during your practice. Pay attention. Practice where you will not be disturbed. Your surroundings should be clean, quiet, and peaceful with plenty of fresh air. Natural environments are the best. After practice, massage your hands with Dita Gel. Even if you skip a session, you should keep up your massage. Cool down naturally, avoiding cold water, cool breezes, and air conditioning. Towel yourself dry and walk 200 steps before sitting or lying down. Wait half an hour before drinking cold liquids, eating, or smoking. It is important to maintain a regular and consistent schedule, especially for the first 3 months of training. Sunrise and sunset are considered the best times to practice. If you can practice 3 times a day, add the afternoon. 3 times a day is the best. Iron palm is a gradual process that cannot be rushed. It is better to practice a little every day than a lot every once in a while. Work your way through the material on this video in a step-by-step fashion from beginning to advanced. Take good care of your hands during each step of your training. Proper warm-up, cool down, and the use of therapeutic liniments are very important for keeping your hands healthy. You can be one of the few individuals who achieve a high level of skill in iron palm, but it will not happen without your dedicated, regular, and attentive practice.